like Finn Balor, I do. I think, but Bray Wyatt is well past his expiration date, in my opinion. I don't have any interest in Bray Wyatt or his promos.
Like a bag of stale Canadian milk.
Yeah, a bag. They have that in a bag. They sell that in a bag in Canadian.
They sell in Canadian. Yeah, they have milk in bags.
Oh, okay.
Stupid.
Sounds not efficient at all.
You ever try to pour milk out of a bag?
No.
It's like bags of sand. It just gets all over the place. There's no hook to it, so like it doesn't pour out
milk. Is what you're saying.
Sandy, crusty Canadian milk. Speaking of Canadian milk, that's all I got now.
Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins defeated Cesaro and Sheamus for the Raw Tag Team Championships. Probably on the main card, this was the first match that was really good, I think. And
it's good when you're 10 matches into the show.
Well, yeah, on the main card, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7th match of 10 on the main card. The storyline leading up to it, I thought, was very effective. Crowd was into Ambrose and Rollins as a team. Very good match with two good solid workers in Cesaro and Sheamus. And Ambrose and Rollins ended up winning the tag titles. I have no real issue with that. I mean, I like Cesaro and Sheamus as a team now. I think they developed really well. But Ambrose and Rollins are probably as over as they've been in a long time now that they're back together. So I think putting the titles on them is the right move.
Absolutely. Ambrose and Rollins were kind of toiling away in obscurity, and the crowd is huge for them. And I like the finisher. Seth Rollins does the Rainmaker into the V-trigger kind of deal, and then Ambrose hits the Dirty Deeds. I like the finish. What's the issue? Is it? What? That's the deal?
I don't know what a V-trigger. That's just
Oh, it's Kenny Omega's knee.
Yeah.
Yeah, so. Why did...
That's not, I don't know what that is. That's not what he does.
Yeah, he does the wrist lock, Rainmaker-esque setup into the jumping knee.
Yeah. Does Kenny Omega do that regularly? Because I watched a bunch of matches and haven't seen him do it. I know he's claiming that he invented the move, but that's not.
No, that's his move.
Yeah, I'm sure it is.
Anyway, the pedigree was Rollins' move too.
Yeah.
But anyway, what we're saying here is Ambrose and Rollins, they have good chemistry, obviously, and these guys, they work, they definitely work really well together. And if you're wondering what that message was, it was just Lance saying, absolutely, thank you. That's all. I hope it's not the end of Cesaro and Sheamus, though. I think they have some staying power as a tag team, and I hope we'll see a rematch sooner rather than later.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure they'll definitely do a rematch or two with these teams in the near future.
Underwhelming, to say the least. The next match, AJ Styles versus Kevin Owens. This is the fourth time they wrestled, the third?
In general or on pay-per-view?
On pay-per-view.
The third this year, I believe.
In like 6 months, right? It's been.
Yeah, I think they wrestled at Backlash and then Battleground and then SummerSlam.
And they've had a couple matches on SmackDown too, one-on-one matches.
Yeah.
So I mean, you're trying to put a square peg into a round hole here at this point. These guys are fantastic workers individually, but together they just don't have those blow-away matches that you'd expect from guys of this caliber talent. And plus, the main focal point of this was Shane McMahon as a special guest referee. So AJ Styles wins the match. You saw a rematch the next night, which also ended with Shane McMahon serving as a special guest referee. So
I think at the very end, he ended up taking over.
Yeah, he right after Baron Corbin left. Yeah. So like, why couldn't you have just done that instead of having Shane as a referee, and then you did the same thing twice to me? Like, it wasn't really necessary. The rumor is it's going to be Kevin Owens and Shane McMahon wrestling at some point, which is any ideas on that match?
I think they're going to do something that it sounds like Hell in a Cell, I think, is their next pay-per-view. I don't know if they're going to put that in the cell or not. My guess is that they probably would. So that's probably what they're building towards, to try to get big matches on that Hell in a Cell show, which is SmackDown's pay-per-view this year.
Okay. Jinder Mahal defeated Shinsuke Nakamura with help from the Singh brothers on the outside. They didn't actually touch Nakamura, but he grabbed him and I think hit the reverse exploder on one, or I don't remember what happened. It was bad. This match was not good. The match itself was not good. That's all I can say about it. And the worst part was the finish. Jinder couldn't even lock in the Koloss. The Koloss. He didn't even lock it in correctly to finish the match, and it kind of was just like a headlock takedown.
That's like a full Nelson slam, isn't it?
There's the Cobra Clutch slam, isn't it?
Yeah, something like that. He grabs the guy from behind. I don't know. Yeah, it might be Cobra Clutch or full Nelson slam. We can look that up. But I think he hits that, and then he kind of slams him. It picks him up and slams him down.
Right, but if you watch the end of the match, he didn't do that. he couldn't get the overhook, so he just had him with one arm. And it's a Cobra Clutch Slam. So yeah, he couldn't even like lock the move properly for the finish. And after all the wars that Nakamura's been in with Cena and with everybody in NXT, it's just a rough way to lose to Jinder Mahal. And I don't think there's any heat left for Jinder at this point.
Well, you can blame your buddy Baron Corbin for that one, my friend. So.
Oh yeah, I heard that. Because Baron Corbin's bad attitude, Nakamura did not win the title, and Baron Corbin did not cash in on him. And I just read today that John Cena destroyed Baron Corbin in the back. So you gotta be
2 weeks ago, I think, at a SmackDown taping or something like that. He like berated him in front of like the other talent and writers and stuff like that.
More like derated him. Am I right? Because he sucks. Okay, listen. It's rude to say somebody sucks. I don't think anybody actually sucks, but he's just not very good in the ring to me. And apparently he's got a poor attitude. So I'm thinking the writing's on the wall. Baron Corbin and Enzo could be a good tag team. They could be called like the Outsiders or something. The 2017. Oh, they could be the new Razor and Diesel, like the fake ones that came in. Give them like a gimmick that everybody's gonna hate because people already hate them. It's a good idea. You can make them like the new Rougeau brothers.
That's a great team.
Right, exactly. They are a great team, but Corbin and Enzo would ruin it, therefore causing hatred. Reverse psychology. Speaking of reverse psychology, Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns, Samoa Joe, and Braun Strowman in an awesome Fatal 4-Way main event. It was a 20-minute and 45-second car crash with tables and stairs and chairs and everything. And Brock Lesnar got stretchered out after Strowman put him through 2 tables, and then he suplexed the table on him, right? Or he kind of pushed the announce table on him.
Yeah.
And everybody thought Brock Lesnar was going to be out of the match. We're going to have a new champion. Lo and behold, here comes your babyface back in, and he gets the pin on Roman Reigns for the F5. I know you love the match.
Yeah, it's a really good match. But, I mean, I think easily probably the best match on this show.
You think it was better than the tag match?
Yes.
Okay. That's all right.
Definitively.
Everybody looks for different things in matches. I thought it was probably the most enjoyable on the card. I think they could have done a lot more with this pay-per-view by doing a lot less. If you took off Cena, Corbin, Big Cass, and the Big Show, and Randy Orton and Rusev, and you put the opening 3 matches in place of those, you would have a 9 or 10 match card that's a lot easier to sit through than this was. As a whole, I thought it was a very, very rough show.
I don't think it was a terrible show, certainly. I think that there's a couple matches that were good, and there's some that, I think in general, the pay-per-view should not go beyond 3 hours. That's the way it always was for the most part when we were growing up, with the exception of like the 2-hour in your house shows that they were there in the 90s. But they should really keep it to 3 hours. I mean, if you've got too many guys, it's just, to me, the best angles and the best matches are the ones that get on the card. So if you have a card that you want to put 8 matches on, then you decide what the best and most important matches are, the ones that are and the biggest storylines, and those are the ones that get on the card. So you can eliminate ones that shouldn't be there, and they don't need to expand the show out to 4 hours just to try to fit everybody on it because it's SummerSlam or whatever the hell it is. So that's kind of part of the roughness of it. Like the Big Cass and Big Show thing had no business being on the show at all, really. The feud was dead on the air on Raw every week, and they decided to put it on this show. The match itself was 10.5 minutes long, plus the Enzo promo before it that took a few minutes. So the whole thing was like 15 to 20 minutes between entrances and everything else that really didn't need to be on the show at all. So I think they would really benefit from even the major shows, cutting them down to make sure that they don't go beyond 3 hours. And, I think that'll make some of these shows a little bit more enjoyable from start to finish rather than having kind of lulls in the action or gaps of matches that aren't as good.
For my money, you could have taken Balor and Wyatt off the show too. That could have been fine on a Raw branded pay-per-view, but I wouldn't put it on the co-branded pay-per-view, which features mostly title matches. So, grade the show, buddy. I can't wait.
I'd probably go C+.
Okay, that's fair. I'm going D. D for damn, I sat through to 5.5 hours.
So you're grading the whole thing from the pre-show all the way to the end?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I mean, not the actual, the wrestling in the pre-show.
Right. Yeah,
I want to hear. Bring it on. I want to hear your new segment, Marking with Meltzer.
You want all the ratings for everything?
Yeah, just real quick.
So the 6-man tag with Miz and Mr. Raj versus Jason Jordan and the Hardys was 2 stars.
Fair.
Neville versus Tozawa, 3.5. Usos versus New Day, 4 stars.
Hold on. Usos versus New Day was 4 stars, and he gave Bobby Roode versus Galloway 4.25.
Correct.
You suck.
Cena versus Corbin, he gave 2.
Fair.
Natalia versus Naomi, he gave 3 stars.
Fair.
Cass versus Big Show, 1 star.
Can you go lower than 1 star?
You can. You can go to dud. You can go negative range. It's all out
this
there.
This had negative written all over it.
Orton Rusev, no rating because it was only 10 seconds long. Banks versus Alexa Bliss, 3 stars. Balor versus Wyatt, 2.75 stars.
Fair.
Ambrose, Rollins, Cesaro, and Sheamus, 4 stars.
Fair.
Ready? AJ Styles versus Kevin Owens, 3.75 stars.
What?
Jinder Mahal versus Shinsuke Nakamura, 2.5 stars.
No.
And Brock Lesnar defeating Samoa Joe, Roman Reigns, and Braun Strowman, 4.75 stars.
What? Wow.
Funny thing is, I don't want to mention that. But yeah, so it's.
They got what? No. Say it. You got to say it now.
That's when it goes. The guy posted an article of all the star ratings for the NXT and SummerSlam shows, and this is just on a blog. And then at the bottom, he goes, obviously, he couldn't go full Monty on any matches because it didn't involve Kenny Omega. That was the real last statement at the bottom. So,
tight.
Just throwing it out there.
Well, he went over an abundance on the NXT show. I don't think any matches were bad, but I just think he's overrating it slightly. And the AJ Styles, what do you think? I'm sorry, 3.5?
3.75 he gave the Styles.
Oh, God. Yeah. Would you give that three stars?
That 3 stars or that rating?
No, 3 stars. Would you give it 3?
I probably would have given it 3. That's probably what I would give it.
I think 3 is being a little bit generous, but I would maybe give it 2.75, 3. I think 3.75 is an over-exaggeration.
I think 3.75 is a little high. It's probably a bit of an overrate. But
you think he was happy that the Young Bucks and Hangman Page won the titles, so maybe he was just feeling very generous this weekend?
Yeah.
You think Dave Meltzer's part of the new Hung Bucks?
I mean, listen, I know he's a big fan of those guys. They have a tribute to him by naming their finisher the Meltzer Driver. So
they have a great shirt that says Meltzer Driver Everybody. And I feel like Kyle actually asked me if I could come into the city with him tomorrow and Meltzer drive everybody at his job. I told him it's
a very specific request.
Yeah, I asked him what the problem was. He just said he hates his job. So I'm willing to do that for him. I got to work on my flexibility.
Form stable, all right?
Yeah. This was the longest ever episode of the All Night Long Wrestling Podcast.
Sorry.
Yeah, listen, if you're listening to this show right now, just let us know. I'll send you a free T-shirt, I think. It's not going to be an All Night Long Wrestling Podcast.
Okay, I was going to say, what T-shirt are you?
No, I'm going to steal it from a locker at the gym.
Okay.
And I'll send it to somebody.
That's cool.
Just let me know what size it is, and I'll follow the person wearing the shirt most closely resembling your body type. That's what I'm here for. I think I just admitted to a misdemeanor on the air. Speaking of admitting to misdemeanors on the air, I really got nothing for you. We really appreciate you guys hanging out with us the last hour and a half. We'd like to thank Lance Archer for hanging out with us and speaking to us and just, talking to us about New Japan and all the stories and his entire career. He spent a lot of time with us, and, we don't have a lot of money to pay these people. So thank you very much, Lance Archer. Please check out his Pro Wrestling Tee store, prowrestlingtees.com/Lance Hoyt. You can find us on Twitter, on Instagram at All Night Long WP. You can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/All Night Long WP. And don't forget, always check us out on Damage 365 as part of the Damage 365 Radio Network, and on ProWrestling.com, and on the YouTube page at YouTube.com. I think it's ProWrestling.com. I don't know. Just search it. But we are everywhere. We appreciate you guys. For the Stallion, I am the Enforcer. We are exhausted, and I'm tapping out.
We're spending our weekend backstage
at Macy's Backstage Happy Weekend Shopping Event.
So much fun.
Giveaways, incredible finds.
Plus, we get a free backstage tote
and a $5 backstage gift card
with any $50 backstage purchase.
I love the thrill of the hunt.
For fashion, home decor, electronics, pet gear,
and surprises everywhere you look.
Macy's Backstage Happy Weekend.
Today and tomorrow.
Best weekend ever. Macy's Backstage, savings for everyday life. Visit Macy'sBackstage.com for details and locations. Macy's. We're spending our weekend backstage
at Macy's Backstage Happy Weekend shopping event.
So much fun.